Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is March the 3rd, 2023, and for those of you who like winter came back again. So we got another snowstorm yesterday, and yeah, people are walking about. But I thought I'd show you a little bit of the outside and all the snow that we have. I think we got about 20 centimeters of snow that came down. And I'm home a little early from work today because none of those community mailboxes are plowed out or shoveled out or ever cleaned out, so I can't deliver the mail to them. So we're home and I've got some post-crossing to show you. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week though. I was training someone at work, so I had a little bit more to do there. We've had activities going on. My son's been reffing a lot more. But this week coming up is March break, so there won't be any school, there won't be any reffing for him to do, so it should be a little easier that way. I'm going to take a couple days off work as well, so I can spend some time with my son and with my wife and just enjoy March break a little bit. But today is Friday, and all this mail came in. I actually got 13 official postcards from Postcrossing in this week, and I got some friend stuff too, so we got a lot to go through. I only had one official one come through. They asked me not to put their card on YouTube, so I'm not going to do that. But I will show you the ones that did allow me to do it. And let's start with this one. First one is from the US. We got Carnival here. This comes from Ryan. He is from New Orleans. And when he sent this on February 14th, they said they were in the middle of Carnival, Mardi Gras. One thing that I would love to go see one day. There's the stamp, pen canceled, unfortunately. One day I'd like to do that. Actually, when I was in university, my first year university, for the spring break, I had a friend who was heading to Mardi Gras. He was from New York, and he was going to go down there for the week and enjoy it, and asked me if I wanted to come along. But I had someone that I was interested in that lived in Kansas, so we both left Montreal. I went to Kansas, he went to Montreal. I'm not sure which was the better week. Mine was interesting, that's for sure, but probably not as interesting as his was in Mardi Gras. So one day, maybe I'll get a chance to experience it. I'm not a drinker, so you can take all that off the table too when it comes to Mardi Gras. So it would just be more about the parades and seeing the costumes and things, and the millions of people that show up, I guess. All right, let's move on to the next card, but thank you, Ryan, for that one on Mardi Gras. This one here comes from Idaho, and it comes from Wendy. And she says a couple days ago, she actually saw wild horses not far from where they live. So that's really cool. So that's what inspired her to send this art card of this wild horse. Here are the stamps. Very lovely. So thank you, Wendy, for that. My next one, also from the United States, is this one here of all these cute little hedgehogs. And there's an albino hedgehog too in there. So it says, hello from Quincy, Massachusetts, the only city in the U.S. where 2 presidents came from. And it says she's never seen a hedgehog. She does have a dog and a bunny, though. And here are all the stamps, and none of them were canceled. Gotta love these Looney Tunes ones here. But this one's a nice one, too, here on the end with the heron. So thank you, Gigi, for this card and those stamps. All right, my next one comes from Finland. And look at these beautiful sunflowers. So it says, greetings from Snowy Espoo. And it says, her name is Hanalel, and she's busy, a happy retiree. This is what I thought was funny. She said, I just baked a cake and I'm going to give it to my best friend. I'm not a good cook. So you're not a good cook, but you're going to give her your cake. That was great. So if you're watching that, that made me laugh when you said that. She said, I'm better at eating. She lives near the library and she loves to read all books, and she reads her books out loud. So hopefully you don't do it when there's lots of other people trying to concentrate. But to each their own. However you enjoy reading, that's great. And then she says she's going to go to an amusement park after the next day, and an art museum, and she likes traditional paintings. And she wishes me a happy days and interesting cards. And then she's decorated it with some nice sunflowers too, and a bee. And I love this stamp. But even more, right down here, the matching part, it says priority. So that's really cool. I have gotten this stamp before, but I don't think I've ever gotten that priority portion of the stamp. Okay. Well, thank you, Hanalel. The next card comes from Belarus. We have this beautiful art card. It comes from Lara. She's 22. She lives in a city whose main attraction is the Lida Castle, which was built in 1323. Perfectly preserved now. Various festivals are held there. Best wishes for you and your family. And then we have all these beautiful stamps. I really like these vegetable ones with the eyes on it. If you've ever seen a show called Veggie Tales, that's what it reminds me of. And then, of course, the Christmas stamp is very colorful. So thank you so much, Lara, for the card. And hope all is well with you and your family. The next card comes from Belgium. We have another hedgehog card. This comes from Lydia. Says she's 34 years old and lives in Ghent with her boyfriend and their son Lucas. And they have a pet dog named Lindy. She's a miniature poodle. She says, I hope you like the hedgehog card. I do. And on the stamp, you will see King Philip, King of Belgium. There we are. Kind of matches too. It's a green stamp, green card, or greenish card. So thank you, Lydia. This next card comes from Germany, and it's the Gruffalo. Have you guys ever read the book Where the Wild Things Are? So here is that, and it doesn't really rate very much on the back, so we have all these stamps instead to focus on. So thank you. It looks like it comes from Mariana, but it's hard to read, so it's hard, can't say for sure. So thank you very much for the card. This next one also from Germany. A little bit of an art card going on here. It says, wow, you're collecting stamp. His father did too, and so she has lots of them in her cellar. Do you like stamps from here? I really do like stamps from, this is from Amber. And so yeah, I do like stamps from there. And she's put the Postcrossing stamp on. Germany has a lot of great stamps. I was talking to someone recently about it. They said they don't really like the barcode that are on them now, but I think that's going to be the way of the future for stamps. I know Great Britain is using barcodes on some of their stamps now. I think it's an easier way for the post office to track. It also stops people from reusing stamps. So, for example, this stamp was never canceled. So if I was in Germany again and I could steam it off or use one of the products that I've been showing lately to get it off and re-stick it, I could reuse it again. But because it's got the barcode, the machine would register that it's been used before. So it does cut down on that kind of postal theft, we want to call it, when people are reusing stamps. So there are good things that way. It also probably is a great way for tracking a postcard too. Maybe not as many of them are going in the wrong places if they're being scanned, and there's probably lots of variations you can use that scannable for when it comes to the postal service. So I don't mind it, but I know some people say it kind of takes away from the stamp. Anyways, here we go into another one from Germany. This is some cherry blossoms. She said, hi, my son's name is Robert as well. Beautiful international name. So thank you very much. I think if kids were born in, let's say, the 60s and 70s, Robert was a pretty common name to give children at that point in time. Nowadays, in the 2000s, 2010s, Robert is not as common a name. You don't see it as much. But yeah, there used to be a lot of us out there. I guess there's still a lot of us out there. We're just old people now. Says she lives in a small town in the middle of Germany. We wait for spring and excited to see all the postcards that will arrive. And she says she's also subscribed to my channel, so thank you so much for that. And on the back, we've got the Postcrossing stamp as well. It's been canceled. You can see the wavy lines through it. So thank you so much for that. The next card from Germany comes from Roman. He's 58 years old and lives in a small town in Germany near Nuremberg. Hobbies include collecting stamps and soccer. And loves postcrossing. And there are the stamps. I really like this. Escapes me the word. Japanese word for paper, origami. There we go. Comes to my old brain eventually. This origami bird on the stamp. That's really cool. So thank you for that. Thank you for the great images of your town. All right, the next one comes from Germany again. Comes in an envelope. You can see the stamp. Nice chess piece. And comes in an envelope because not only did they include a card, but they included some stamps too. So I'll show you the stamps first. We have these Russian ones. And then we have this one from Australia with the nice cancellation mark on it there that says "Spread the Merry." And then we have these ones here from New Zealand. I really like this one here of Lord of the Rings, or The Hobbit. So we've got that. And this was the postal card that came inside. So the postcard of this post box. It says it comes from the Saxony area and town there. Mainly companies for the automotive industry are in that section. And has a good football team. And they have a good hockey area that's played there too. And it's ice hockey that they play. Or we just call it hockey here. But I can understand it. So they said their town is very well known in Germany for all these things that they have. And this comes from Viola. And what I really like on this too, as you can see, happy Postcrossing. We got that. And on the front, I had this thank you to the mailman. Thanks, Miss or Mr. Postman. Have a nice day. Great stamp. So thank you for putting that for someone who actually works at the postal system. I appreciate seeing those stamps on there, and for the stamps that were actually inside the envelope too. And then I got this one from Germany. Another one with the chess piece on it. And we got this hedgehog postcard, which is really cute. And he says, "I send you many greetings from Germany." Lives in a small town in Saxony again. And hope you like this card and stamps, because inside the envelope, she included a couple stamps too. Also, this little miniature calendar, beautiful flower on it, that was in there. And this stamp, which was a German. And we have this one here, which looks like it's from Belarus. And this one from Germany. And the origami one I was just talking about. I got that one loose. And this one. Really like this too, with the chariot and horses. Looks from like a fairy tale. And then here, a stamp about an individual and a chateau. What I thought was interesting about these stamps though is that they were on postcards at one point in time. She's clipped the corners off them, so wherever she got them from, there's a postcard that is no longer has its corner anymore. All right, so those are all my official ones that came in. Now let me show you some of the ones that came in that were from friends and direct swaps. This one from Julianne in Germany sent me nice images of Berlin. Last card she sent me, it went to Berlin first for a vacation before it got to me, so it took a little longer to get to me. So she thought it would be interesting if she sent me a card from Berlin. And here you got the Brandenburg Gate. Love that, with it all lit up. So some nice stamps on there. Thank you, Julianne. The next one comes from Maria in Greece. And so sent this beautiful spot, Santorini, where many people go either for their honeymoons or tourists go and descend on it when it's summertime. I've seen a lot of pictures from there. Movies have been shot there too. It looks like it would be an absolutely amazing place to go see. So thank you for that. And then she's included a stamp. It looks like it matches there too. Yes, it does. It does match there. A Santorini stamp on it. It says that up here. So how nice. And then the markers of all the towns and distances. That reminds me, if you've ever seen the show MASH, it was a drama that took place during the Korean War, and they had a signpost like this that showed all the different places, whether they were Tokyo or whether it was Toledo, Ohio, or wherever people were from. They were all on there, San Francisco. So that's what that reminds me of. So thank you, Maria, for that. Thank you for the beautiful card and stamp. Just amazing. All right, this next card comes from Erin in Colorado. We're all probably familiar with this image now, the Dove of Peace and the Ukrainian flag. So she sent that. She's also beautifully decorated with some nice washi tape and some stamps, a muscle car stamp and the Halloween stamp there, which kind of, if you rotate it a bit, you can see it glistens. Thank you, Erin. This one comes from Kara in Washington. We got a postal dog delivering the mail, or maybe even picking it up. Maybe the mailman's already dropped it and he's just bringing it back into the house. It could be. And she's got it all decorated up too. We've got some nice stamps, nice whale stamp, and lots of beautiful washi. It matches the dog with the letters. So thank you, Kara. I really appreciate that. She says that that it was warming up there. I hope it's going to start warming up here too. Yeah, we got some snow, but it's March now. Let's see this snow start melting away. So by the time April gets here, we are in full spring mode. Let's hope anyways, fingers crossed. All right, this next massive card comes from Robert in New Mexico. It is some kind of fan art from Star Wars. Really cool. And he talked about in the original characters of Star Wars that there were going to be more characters that had lightsabers, including some stormtroopers. So that would have changed things a little bit. Maybe they would have been more accurate with a lightsaber than they are with blasters, because they can't seem to hit anything with blasters. Then we have these stamps. He said it was -1 in New Mexico with some snow on the ground. So that's kind of cool. I don't think of New Mexico as a place that has a lot of snow, but I guess there are different elevations, so you certainly can get snow anywhere. All right, and this next card, just repositioning it here, comes from Lewis in Dubai. This is one of the Dungeons and Dragons cards that are out there. We've been sending cards back and forth that are similar. We both have the same box of Dungeons and Dragons card. And so every once in a while I send one off to him, and then he sends the exact same card back to me. So it's kind of a fun little game. Got it all decorated. There we have the stamps. He said it was a freezing cold 24 degrees that day. Brr. Yeah, right. And then, of course, greetings from Paquita de Polo on it. He also sent this Mickey Mouse card, which is really cool, with Mickey Mouse and Minnie there. And on the back, we have all these stamps again, similar ones to the last one. This one's different, I guess. And this one too has this big long one here, with Toyota on it too. So thank you, Lewis, for all those cards. This next card comes from Ross. He mailed it while he was in England, but at the time he said he was in Slovakia to see his nephew play hockey. That's pretty cool. Hope he did well. We've got the Queen there on the back with the barcode as we were talking about before. But there are all the things from Slovakia that you might be able to see in that town. And then the final card also comes from Ross. This one gave me mixed emotions. I don't know if you guys experience that when you have cards arrive to you, that sometimes you have a bunch of different emotions. The first was, wow, that's cool. And it's King Charles III. This is the first card I have with his image on it as the king. Last week I got a sticker on the back of a card from John in Scotland that said God bless the king on it. That's the first of that I've received. But it was like, wow, cool, I've got a postcard of the king. And then it was like, yeah, the Queen is, every once in a while it hits me again that the Queen is gone. For a lot of us, Queen Elizabeth II was the only Queen of England, the only monarch we've known. And when we saw this gentleman, he was always just Prince Charles. And now he's King Charles III. So, yeah, so this card made me think of the change, the passing, and what might be to come. Who knows? Hopefully, good things are still to come. There's been a lot of changes in the monarchy, and changes with people's perception of the monarchy, and whether it's something that still needs to be in some of the Commonwealth countries at least. So who knows? But thank you. This comes from Ross. On the back he says, I am your king. So is Ross my king now, or is it King Charles III? I don't know. I'm so confused. But thank you so much, Ross, for this. It means a lot to get a King Charles postcard. And one day, there'll be a King Charles stamp on the back to go with it. I have seen images of it. I've actually seen images of the new money that's come out in Great Britain that has the King's image on it already. So it's starting to turn, and eventually we'll get more and more of it, I am sure. But wow, thank you so much for everyone sending all this stuff in. I've got things to respond to and things to put away. Tomorrow is That Dad Guy Answers. It's the special That Dad Guy Answers. It's the one where instead of me answering your questions that you asked me the week before, I get to read your responses to the question that I asked you for February, which I did at the very first Saturday of February. I asked you a question, and since then you guys have been sending me postcards with your answers in it. So tomorrow we are going to go through those. And so that should be fun. And I'll have a new question for you for the month of March. So hopefully people will continue to participate and get to know what's happening with different subscribers around the world and what's fun and interesting to them. I think it's a great way for me, at least, to get to know you. But it's also a great way for everybody else who's watching to know where people are watching from and what interesting things are in their areas and things that they should be seeing and doing and tasting, and who knows what the questions will be. But thank you for that. So stay tuned for that one. Sunday, I've got some postcards that I've got to write and send out per normal. And then, yeah, next week, who knows? There may be some interesting videos to come. You're going to have to stay tuned. You're going to have to be subscribed. I hope you are. I hope you're leaving comments, hitting the like button, have your notification bell on so you're getting the chance to watch these videos right away. And go back and watch some of the other ones too. I've got over 600 videos out there. So maybe you're interested in Canada Post and my job and the other things that we do at Canada Post. I've got videos for that. Maybe you're interested in Lego and your stamps, into postcards, into trains, into hikes. Yeah, lots of different things out there to watch. Maybe you just want to see me act foolish in my early videos doing push-ups with my children or reading children's stories. All that stuff's out there. So go explore. All right. You guys have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?